Welcome to a CarCast version of the Waypoint Witness vlog. I apologize for the road, engine, cabin rumble that you hear in the background. So I've provided some nice watercolor artwork for you to watch as a visual. Thank you so much for listening. Life is very busy, and well, faith happens all the time, even in those busy parts. So that's why I am recording while doing my morning commute. I work as a teacher at a small school, so this is my morning commute on my way over there. Got to use time wisely whenever you can. So I have my little microphone set up, and well, it's just pointed at me and recording. Anyway, here we go. Here is the introduction and quick description of what's going on in my channel. So mainly on Waypoint Witness, I want to provide a quiet place, a peaceful place for viewers and listeners to be able to experience or explore the Bible and faith. And the main way that happens is through as clear of readings as I can provide, along with some peaceful art. So that is watercoloring, because watercolor with ink is my main style, and I find that I really like doing that when I'm pondering something in the background, kind of multitasking, so I'm sharing that. It's a little harder to talk while doing an oil painting or acrylic painting. Also, those two mediums are far less portable. With watercolor, I can carry a little kit and paint anywhere quickly. So that means recording can happen more often. And so let's go to the main three series that you can expect to see, and maybe things will change over time. But right now, if you've seen the channel, the majority of the content is by far Lector Sketchbook. And that is readings of the King James Bible accompanied by a time-lapse watercolor painting of that passage that I'm reading. And usually it is 1 to 2 to maybe 3 chapters at a time to keep the length somewhere in the realm of 10 minutes, like just under, just over. And I'm reading the King James version of the Bible, the KJV, and the reason why, I have a lot of different reasons why, but I feel like it feels a little more authoritative. It doesn't have a lot of the nitpicks and problems that more modern translations have, even though I have my personal collection that I use directly is the NIVs. I use the KJVs for these readings because, well, like I said, I want to have something that feels a little more authoritative. When you're listening to just the words, there's kind of a different pacing to it. You have to think about the words differently. It's written in a much older version of English. Now, this is not to say it is the one definitive version. There are so many different versions of the Bible, and there were many, many, many versions before the KJV. So take that into consideration. Language is always changing, shifting, adapting, evolving, however you want to put it. English in 200, 300 years will not be the same as it is today. So there might be the same nitpicks and reverence for the NIV, for example, as there currently is for the KJV. That aside, there we go. I'm reading a Bible from a slightly older version of English, and we will explore that. When I complete that, whatever the timing will be on that, maybe 2 years out, I will consider reading other versions. I already have some ideas of other explorations that I might do, but maybe I'll just continue with the daily Bible reading. Oh, and Lector Sketchbook is intended to be daily. The other series that's intended to be daily, and also they're in my channel content, but probably less noticeable because they're so quick and short, are the just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 lines of scripture read with a quick little 10-second clip of watercoloring. And those are unofficially hashtagged Daily Bread. I still don't have an actual title for the series, but I think because they're shorts, they don't really need a title. They just need me to tell you what verse I'm reading, and then have the hashtag Daily Bread. There we go. Those are meant to just share little tiny bits of the Bible daily in case you don't have the time to sit down for a full 8-minute or 12-minute reading of, multiple chapters. This way you get some hope and inspiration. Otherwise, aka daily bread, you get your daily bread and, get to go through your day and have that there with you. Now, the third one is the one that hasn't appeared yet as of the recording of what I'm saying here, this podcast. And that is Spoke and Spirit. Now, I like to bicycle ride. I don't get a chance to do that often. So I would like, my aim for Spoke and Spirit is going to be a weekly vlog where I talk about faith and review decisions I've made with the channel, maybe do some Q&A. For example, I might talk about why I chose to read a particular chapter, or why I chose to use a particular image, or what image that I painted goes along with what particular line. So I'll review those sort of things, and maybe just talk about faith journeys in general. I want it to be less about me, because I don't want the focus on the channel to be me. I'd rather it be scripture and the message. But the vlog will be a chance for me to just adjust things in general and give you my thoughts, my notes, things like that. That way, mainly the reason why that was designed, that way to have the weekend vlog, was so that Lector Sketchbook could focus strictly on the reading and the art and not be interrupted by me going, oh, hey, hold on, here's some translation notes, here's some version notes, here's a background of what this means, here's some historical notes. You all know what I'm talking about. You watch a Bible reading channel, and the reader stops to address these notes, which are incredibly helpful, but if you're looking for just the flow of the biblical words of the verses themselves, that can interrupt your journey. So Lector Sketchbook is intended as strictly a reading. So that said, well, where do you put all the notes if you have such important notes to share? Those will be shared in the Spoke and Spirit. Now, obviously, it's a little harder to go line by line when you're doing a Saturday bicycle ride, as opposed to having done the reading the Friday before or the Monday before. There's a long distance of time. So it won't be as thorough an examination of notes. And you know what? I'm fine with that because, well, there are a lot of channels where you have authoritative, actual scholars of the Bible who can share those. Or you can get actual ministers, actual preachers giving you this information. Me, I'm just a general, everyday person. I'm just a teacher. I don't teach Bible studies. I teach currently elementary math, PE, and art. So that gives you an idea. So I'm just sharing the message and reading it. That's literally my aim and my major goal. I don't want to go, oh, I'm going to tell you here's how you need to interpret, or here's what you need to avoid in interpreting. I'm just going to share the word and give you a couple notes on the weekend vlogs. There we go. And then maybe share some enjoyment of, hey, isn't this area really cool to look at, or whatever it is. Just basically give you a reason to pause and reflect and breathe and take in the message, and also enjoy life. We're given this awesome life, and a lot of times it can be hectic and stressful and worrisome. But you know what? Here is one more way I can contribute to giving you a reason to pause and reflect and go, hey, I've got a reason to smile. So there we go. There's the introduction of the channel. If you've got any questions, feel free to post them on this video or any other videos. I will check comments and try to address questions either in the comment field or save them for Spoke and Spirit. All right, next time I do a vlog, I hope there will be far less road rumble, because I intend my vlog series to be Spoke and Spirit and not CarCast, but I understand the CarCast will happen sometimes. Thank you so much for putting up with the road rumble as I drive on this very rough country road. Until next time, may you have the most blessed of days.